Hi everyone, it's Holly Astral, and today on Ask a Tattoo Artist I'm going to be answering for you like what is a tattoo blowout and what causes them and what you can do about them. This is a topic that I see come up a lot on YouTube and Instagram and everything, like people talking about blowouts, and I know there is a lot of kind of misinformation out there about them, so I guess I wanted to make this video from a tattoo artist point of view so you can kind of understand a little bit more about what exactly blowouts are and kind of what you can and can't do about them. So human skin is made up of layers, and when you are tattooing, what you're trying to do is get all of the ink in an even layer underneath the skin. If you go into light, so if you're not putting the ink in deep enough into the skin, the tattoo will kind of fall out, and if you go into heavy, the tattoo will blow out. And when I say blowout, a blowout looks like, well, they can look different on everyone, but typically they look like a hazy, bluish or greyish fuzz around the lines. Generally you find them more on line work because of the type of needle and the setup that the tattoo artist is using. It's more inclined to blow out, but not always. And what's happening here is the ink has gone in too far. So you've gone beyond the stable, I would call them, skin layers, and you've gone down to like the fatty tissue underneath. And when you kind of get to that part of the skin, it doesn't really have the rigidity and it can't hold the ink in the way that the top more elastic layers of the skin would, which is why you get the blowout, because the ink kind of doesn't know where to go and it just spreads. So in terms of doing something about tattoo blowouts, there's not really that much you can do. You could get laser treatment in a selected area if it really bothered you, but it's kind of in the nature of getting tattooed that sometimes it can happen. And although it can be down to like putting the ink in wrong or kind of like an incorrect technique being used, it's not always the artist's fault. The other reasons that it can happen is on thin areas of skin, so like in your elbow ditch, wrists, like in here, what's that, like the bingo wing, on the bingo wing, that can do it, like hips, ribs. They're all really tricky areas to do because the skin is stretchy, it can be thin, and it can change dramatically from, you know, one small area to another small area depending on what you're doing. And as an artist, like, this is kind of an obvious one to me, but I've not seen it in anyone else's videos. A reason why you might get a blowout is if you move. If you move, you might get a blowout. Things like kind of jerky movements, so stuff like phone in the pocket, phone out the pocket, phone in the pocket, phone out the pocket, you can get a little blowout that way. Another thing that can cause a tattoo to blow out would be the placement of the tattoo. And when I say this, if it is like a high travel place, so like elbow ditch is a prime for it, just because it's moving, you know, you can't help but move it. And sometimes that can, you know, cause the skin like to do friction, go backwards and forwards on itself, and that can cause a little blowout. So yeah, you can't really do anything about blowouts apart from just try your best to not worry about them. It is kind of an inevitable part of being tattooed. You know, it is an imperfect science. Tattoo artists are trying their best, and obviously, you know, we have tattoo technology has advanced so much, you know, inks and machines and everything, like the way that we're applying the tattoos. But at the end of the day, you know, it's an imperfect science. And I think it's one of those ones, like, the more you get tattooed, the more you will kind of realise that it is just kind of a part of being tattooed. Some of my tattoos have blowouts on them. That is just in the nature of getting tattooed. But yeah, I hope this video has been interesting to you guys. As always, if you have a question that you would like to ask an actual tattoo artist, you can always send it to me. You can email me, you can leave me a comment down below, or as always, you can find me on Instagram. My name there is @Holly_Astral, and you can see more of my tattoo work there. Thanks for watching. See you next time.